Hi, today we're going to do some painting using a pendulum. On your kit, you're going to receive half cup of paint. It's going to be in this little container. You will receive a toothpick, a cup with a couple of holes, some yarn, a dowel, and a little craft stick. You will need a pair of scissors and some tape and water to mix up your paint with. You will also need a space or a place where it's safe for you to use paint, preferably outside. And you will need a place to set up your dowel for your pendulum. So it can be 2 chairs or it can be on a bench. I'll show you how I'm going to have my setup. So the first step to work on here is to open up a hole. And I don't know if we will need more than one, but I'm going to open one right in the middle and make sure that that hole is kind of a little bit bigger than just the toothpick, because that's how the paint is going to get. Maybe we can try opening 2 holes and see, but maybe that would be too fast for the paint. So I'm going to try with one. If maybe if we need another one, we'll open up another one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a little bit of tape and block that hole like that. And now using the yarn, I'm going to loop it through those holes that are previously made on that cup. And this is going to be the end of your pendulum. And I am going to try to stretch it out all the way. So we have even sides on each of the sides of the yarn. And I'm not going to cut it yet because I want to know how far I'm going to hold my pendulum. So when you're calculating how low it can go, your pendulum, you want to make it that it's hovering above 1 inch or so from where your painting method is going to be. You also receive paper, some cardstock on your kit, so you can use that for your canvas. So let's mix now the paint with, I'm going to add water to the top of that little cup. And I'm going to make sure that I mix that paint so it's liquidy but still has a lot of color. This is just tempera paint. And we're going to use that popsicle stick to just mix it in. And take your time mixing it in. I'm going to speed up my video and mix my paint and get it ready for our pendulum. Now I'm going to cover. I have mixed my paint as much as I can. Make sure that you have it well mixed so it's not watering one part and like super thick on the other. So you have twice as much paint now. I'm going to take it outside, bring my tape, maybe a stronger tape if you have it at home, masking tape, and don't forget your dowel and your scissors, and try to find a spot outside. If you have some cardboard, also grab some cardboard to put it underneath your artwork so any mess would be easy to pick up. Also newspaper works as well. Let's find a good spot. As you can see, I set up my pendulum on this picnic bench. You can see that I left not too much distance between my cup and my canvas on the ground. You can see that it's already kind of moving. I tied the 2 strings up and didn't tie them in a very big knot. So if I need to make any adjustment, I can do so. So I used the dowel and taped it to that picnic table with a lot of tape. And there I have my pendulum. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour the paint into the cup, and then we have to remove that little piece of tape with much care. So I'm going to put my phone in a steady position and do that now. Okay, here we go. I am going to carefully open my mixed paint that I've worked on. Maybe gave it another good shake there. Opening, making sure that maybe I'm going to remove this for the time being until I pour it out. You can use your hand and just pour it out carefully, all of it out. Oh, this is now getting heavier. So maybe we need to adjust our pendulum a little bit higher. So maybe you can start in a height that is a little bit higher. Let me adjust the pendulum and we'll start. Okay, I have adjusted the height, and now we have a pendulum that is still hanging a couple of inches from the floor. Make sure that you take into consideration the yarn and the weight of the paint. So I'm going to go ahead and put this canvas right underneath my pendulum, wherever it's sitting. And now I'm going to carefully, you might get messy here, carefully remove the tape that we put in the bottom. Don't tip your cup when you're doing this. Just try to remove it by finding it with your fingernail. Here, I found mine, I think, a little bit. There we go. So now what we do is we pull the pendulum to one side and let it kind of move around. Hopefully it will have enough speed. Maybe we need to add another hole in our pendulum to keep it moving. Maybe give it another big push. Maybe the paint is not liquid enough. Maybe we need to add a little bit more water, or let's try to add another hole into the bottom of the cup so more paint can flow. So I'm just gonna try to do it as close as that one as I can. Maybe at 3 and one more. Maybe you can start with 3 and see how that goes if your paint is still feeling thick. Let's see. Maybe giving the pendulum a little different speed can make different types of, you can go from one side to the other side. There, it seems to be working a little bit better, creating patterns. Maybe we can try to see if we can make a star. You can try, if you have other colors of paint, try adding different colors to your cup, using different cups, using more holes too, a little bit more water too to make paint a little bit more liquidy. I hope you enjoy this really fun experience of painting using a pendulum that goes back and forth. See you soon.